So today is a bit of a requested video actually, which makes me feel super fancy to say. Requested, me. This is a walkthrough of my bullet journal. If you don't know what bullet journaling is, it's very hard to explain. It's like a sort of system that you can apply to any notebook rather than being an actual notebook, although you can buy an official bullet journal. But that's another story for another day. So the guy who created bullet journals, he has a website where he perfectly and very well explains every sort of aspect of the journaling system, and he can explain it much better than I would ever be able to. So I will leave the link to the website for the bullet journals and also to the video he made explaining the system. Because that's kind of how I got to grips with it. The video I found much easier to understand than the website. So, yeah, let's get started. Just two quick things before I start. One, I apologise for the state of my nails. I haven't had them done in a few weeks, and I won't be getting them done for another few weeks. So, sorry about that. And another, if there's any background noise or anything, then I'm sorry, but Joe's dad is currently decorating. So, and today's the only day I could film it. Like, I couldn't wait until he was finished. So. No biggie, no biggie. So yeah, let's get started. So my bullet journal is I think you pronounce it Leuchtturm or Leuchtturm 1617 notebook. I'll leave the link to it in the description box. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them in loads and loads of colours. I kind of went with grey because I quite like grey, but I think next time I'd probably go for a coloured one. So first page you get, it's a 1917, sorry, not a 1617. But you can put your name and address, which I haven't actually done yet, which I probably should. But yeah, and then you have an index page, which is key to the sort of bullet journal system because it's a way for you to sort of easily find pages that you've put in the journal. Because unlike a normal diary, you can kind of tailor it to yourself and like what you need and what you like, and so it's dead easy and it's just great, but the index you actually do really need. So I've got a little inspiration page, which I will explain later, my key, blog ideas, wishlist, everything I've done in blue, it is gonna last me for the whole year. And anything that isn't in blue is a monthly thing, so I will have like more than one. So for example, I've got my March brain dump, I will have one for April when April starts, so that one's not in blue. So this is my first page, and this actually was a page that I'd done wrong. Ha!
I'd done wrong.
I'd done it wrong. I done wrong. So I went and bought some nice little postcards from Paper Chase and stuck them in on top because I don't like wrong. Next page, I've got my key. The key is key to the bullet journal system. So basically what you have with a bullet journal is you have different sort of, they're like symbols for a task, an event, a note.
Sorry.
Joe's on the PlayStation as well, so if you hear like weird noises, then that's what that is.
Hold on, let me just remind myself I've actually fixed it.
Anyway, you get your key, and you've got your task, event, note, and all that, and then if something has been completed, I put a cross through it. If I've migrated it onto another day, for example, if I've had a task and I've not managed to complete it and I want to do it tomorrow instead, then I do a little sort of front-facing arrow, and if I've scheduled it for another time, I will put it into my monthly calendar and put a little backwards arrow. I also have anything that's priority will have a star on it, anything that's just a little note of inspiration will have a little like plus sign, and anything that's really important will have an exclamation mark. Then this is my expenses key. Now, one of the main reasons I wanted a bullet journal is I love budgeting my money. I find it really helps me, but I've tried so many apps and none of them work. I much prefer doing it on paper. So this is my expenses key. So every sort of sector of what I spend money in, so travel, fitness, rent, savings, food, they all have a colour, and then when I jot in my expenses what I've spent it on, I also put a little colour next to it so I know how much I've spent at the end of each month on each sector. Next is onto my blog ideas and YouTube ideas page. So this is, I actually have a spreadsheet on Google Sheets for my blog and YouTube stuff, but sometimes I can't access it if I don't have any internet, or it's actually a real dick to add things into it on your phone. So I keep this in my handbag, and if I think of any like quick ideas, I'll jot them down in here. And when this is full, I'll just start another page wherever I am in the book, and then jot that down in my index. So you getting it? You getting it? Next, I've got a wish list, which I thought was a really good idea, but so far I only have electric toothbrush on there. So I'm actually kind of thinking the wish list wasn't a great idea, because I don't actually know what I want. But I do need an electric toothbrush, and that just reminded me. The next one is my savings goals. Now this is sort of tying in with my expenses, like monthly expense logs. And I have 3 things that I'm currently sort of saving for. One of them is a flat deposit. The next one is paying Joe back, because Joe very kindly lent me a lot of money whilst I was at university, and it's now time to pay him back. And the next one is getting out of my student overdraft. So I'm doing quite well, so I've only been doing it like 1 or 2 months. That's good. Next is onto the more common stuff. This is my future log. So I do it for 3 months. Some people do it for the whole year, some people do 6 months. I just found that 3 months was a better way for me to do it at a time. So I've got March, which is now nearly finished, which is mad. I've got April, so in the future log I will bob in any events and what date they're on. I will put in any notes that I need to remember for that month or something. It's just an easy way of sort of going, right, in April I'll need to put this in my calendar, or in April I need to remember to do this on this day. It's just, like I say, it's just an easy way. And then this is my March brain dump. The brain dump is basically for any tasks that don't immediately need doing. So I've got order new business cards, because that needs to be done at some point, but it doesn't need to be done immediately this second. So if I have a free day, I will go back to my brain dump, see if there are any tasks that need to be done, and I will sort of go, right, I can do that task today, or I can do that task next weekend, or... And I've also got notes. So this one, for example, if you've never heard of bohoberry.com, if you're watching my bullet journal, you probably would have heard of her, because she is the bullet journal queen. She does a sort of future planning thing for her monthly calendar, which is on my next page, which I'll show you. And it's a much more organised system than the one I have, so I thought I'd try something similar in April. Which is the best thing about bullet journals as well, because you can do something one way 1 month and then decide you don't like it and you want to change it and do it differently the next month, so you can totally tailor it to yourself, which is my favourite thing about it. So this is my March calendar. So I have it separated into all day, AM and PM. So I have any events that are all day, then I have anything I need to do in the morning of that day and anything I need to do in the evening that day. So it's basically a quick look, this is my calendar. And I like the way I'm doing it, but the way Boho Berry does it is just much more organised. So I think I'm going to try something similar to what she does next month. So I'll leave a link to her blog and YouTube channel in the description box, because she's literally queen. But I use a page marker on this one because I tend to need this quite often, so it's easy to get to. Next is my monthly habit tracker and my monthly gratitude log. These are both things I've actually fizzled out of using. I wanted to give them a try to see if I actually use them or not, and it turns out that I don't really use the gratitude log at all. I've started a list in my phone and it's much more me. It works a lot better for me than jotting down something every single day. So I'm going to scrap this next month and not have that anymore. The habit tracker I do like, and I think I'm going to use it again next month, but tune it to my needs a little bit more. Because, I don't know, I think this one I was seeing it more of a, you need to do this every day, when in actual fact it should just track what you do. It shouldn't necessarily have an effect on what you do. It should just be a bit of an eye-opener. Like for this one, the orange is my no booze. Like, there's not many of them. So that was a little eye-opening. So I think I am going to continue that next month, but maybe tweak it a little bit and have a play around with like the system of it. Next is my blog statistics. This one is a constant one, so this one is in blue on my index. So this is where I track every single month, at the end of the month, all my statistics, and my followers and my sessions and my unique users and that sort of thing. I think March is actually going to be a lot lower than February because I've had quite a lot of time off blogging this month, which is not good, but you know, gotta do what you gotta do.
Everyone needs a break.
This is my waiting on page. This is a lifesaver because whenever I'm getting any PR samples, or if I've bought anything online, or if I'm waiting on information from advertisers or something, I'll put it in here, and when I've received it, I'll cross it out. So I'll know that I've got it, that's sorted, that's done. I'm still waiting on some photography lighting I ordered a month ago from Amazon. Be having words with them. Next is all my February to March stuff. So I do my expenses log on payday. My payday's on the 22nd. So it's not at the end of the month, it's sort of a week before the month finishes. So this is, you can kind of see from how I've done it, how I explained earlier with the colours down the side, and then this sort of bit is how much I've spent in each sector, and then I've put numbers by the side so I know. I've crossed out rent and savings because obviously they're always going to be the two that I spend the most money on, but they don't count to me as spending money. So the thing I spent the most money on last month that wasn't rent and savings was actually food shops. So I know that next month I need to be more conscious of what I'm spending in the supermarket. And then I go into my daily log. Now the daily log is pretty much the heart of the whole bullet journal system. You write the date at the top, and then all of the tasks or events you've got to do that day, and then you cross them out as they're done. It's literally that simple. So as you can see from this, I had to write a blog post. I didn't get a chance to do that day, so I migrated it to the next day. I had to write another blog post. I did get that done, so I crossed it out. And an event is a circle, and that was payday. So that's basically how it works. I see a lot of people do bullet journals and they're all really pretty and really fun and really fancy, and I was kind of playing around with how I wanted mine to look. So in the first sort of couple of weeks it was quite messy whilst I played around with different fonts and different styles. This bit of washi tape is conveniently placed where I actually put Wednesday instead of Thursday. Fun fact for you. So I started playing around with styles and I decided I quite liked this sort of chunky font that I did, so I kind of stuck with that. So then the next week, as you can see, is much more organised, much more tidy, if that makes sense. So this is kind of how I do it now. This is like, I don't bother changing it up every day because I don't bullet journal to make it look pretty. Like, I'm not intending on keeping it. I'm intending on binning it at the end of the year and getting a new one. A lot of people use them as almost like journals that they can jot things down in and look back on them in years to come, but I don't see it like that. I see mine as just a yearly diary. So I'm not bothered too much about it looking really pretty, but I'd like it to look at least a little bit neat. So this is my daily log. I do on a weekend a joint daily log for Saturday and Sunday. I find that doing just Saturday and Sunday restricts me too much, and I end up procrastinating and not getting as much done. So what I do is I do a little weekend log. So I've got all the photos I need to take and all the stuff I've got to do over the weekend, because it's very rare that I have something to do on a Saturday specifically that I can't then do on a Sunday, like instead of. So I just do a to do this weekend and I cross it off the same way I would cross it off on a daily log. So yeah, then this is my next week. This was this week, or last week. This was last week. And I keep saying my favourite thing about the bullet journal is, but one of my favourite things about it is how it's teaching me to not be so much of a perfectionist. Like, it's fine if you make mistakes in it, it doesn't matter, and everything's to you. So I'll split my weekly log in the middle and do an expenses, or I'll show you in a minute. I'll show you now actually. I split it in the middle and I suddenly thought, oh my god, I need a list of all the things we've still got to buy for the bedroom. So I just took up a page in the middle of my weekly log and did that and put it in my index. So it's just a really good way of sort of making sure that I'm not too perfectionisty. This, fun fact again, I didn't intend on doing this sort of flag design for the Friday. I started to write a W to write Wednesday, and then I thought, oh my god, no, it's Friday. So I was like, right, how can I sort of get this back? So I made it into like a flag design. Yes, I was proud of me for that one. You should be proud of me for that one. Another thing I use quite a lot in the bullet journal is paper clips. Because there are only 2 page markers in this notebook, I like to have a little paper clip on any page that I'll really need to get to quickly that doesn't deserve a page marker. So my page markers are for 1, the monthly log that I showed you earlier, and 2, the day that I'm currently on. So I need to move this now because it's now Friday, but yeah. So I then put a paper clip on my expenses page, and I also put one on my future log page. So I can get to those two easy as well, so I don't need to find them. And everything else I can just find really quickly through the index. So this is today. This is my bedroom still to buy. I thought I needed a list because it was running around my head because we're decorating the bedroom and it was kind of swirling around my head like you still got to buy this, you still got to do this, you still got to buy this. And I was like, right, I need someone to just write all down what we still need and what we still need to do. So I thought, bullet journal. And then now I have 6 days off work as of Good Friday. So instead of doing daily logs, I've done similar to what I do on a weekend, but this is Friday to Wednesday. So it's all the events I've got and then everything I've got to do on the 6 days I have off. So I can then add to this if I need, I can add little notes and stuff. So I just figured that would be a better way for me to do it because again, there isn't really anything I need to do on specific days. It's more, I've got to get this done at some point on my time off. So yeah, that is all I've got so far. I've only been doing the bullet journal system for a month. I started it on payday in February and I started it properly, like I started introducing all the monthly things on the 1st of March. So I toyed with the daily login to start with to see if I'd like it, and then I decided I did like it, so I continued on and added in all my monthly things. So I'm actually really enjoying it, you know guys. I thought it'd be a bit of a gimmick. I thought I wouldn't really like it. I thought it would be something I'd give up really quickly, but it's pretty much, oh god, it sounds so melodramatic, but it's pretty much changed my life. Like, I'm so much more organised. I'm so much less anxious actually, because it's a good way for me to know exactly what I've got to do, exactly when I've got to do it, and if I've done it or not. So it's a really good way. If you're a bit of an anxiety sufferer, but one like me who has to make lots of lists and has to make sure everything's done, then you gotta try this, because it's just great. And I think that's all I needed to actually tell you. It was like this, I just intended this to be a little bit of a walkthrough. So if you do want me to do like a Q&A or anything where you've got any more specific questions, just hit me up on Twitter and I'll try and answer them as best I can, or comment down in the comments on this video and I'll answer them as best I can. I might do an updated one next month, or maybe in a couple of months, when I've settled on things, because obviously with me just being a first month, I'm going to get rid of the gratitude log, I'm going to adapt the habit tracker, I'm going to adapt the calendar, so I might do an updated one in a couple of months, show you how I've changed, because at the moment I'm not 100% set on how I'm going to change them yet, so I think I'm going to try something out until I'm happy with it. So, but yeah, that's my favourite thing about it, like, you can do what you need to do from it. It's just try it, honestly. Just give it a try. If you don't like it, you don't like it. If you do like it, you do like it. I would definitely recommend this Leuchtturm or Leuchtturm or whatever it's called. It's fab. I know a lot of people use moleskins, but this is just great because it's got the index already in it. It's page numbered and it's dotted, so you can use it as lines, you can use it as squares, you can use it as anything you need. It's just fab. So yeah. I really hope I've covered everything. I can't think of anything I've missed. If you, like I said, if you've got any questions, then just drop me a tweet or a comment, or you can even email me if you need to. But yeah, that is my bullet journal. So thank you everybody for watching. I will see you next week for a weekly vlog, and I will also see you next week for another video. This marks the start of a solid good few weeks of videos at least. So yeah, thanks for watching you guys. See you next time.